Rainier, this is out of nowhere, but since TC is happening, I'm getting FOMO. I can't wait for next year. Yeah, I wanted to talk about TwitchCon because, like, I'm really concerned with the things that are happening at TwitchCon, and especially like TwitchCon US, and how Twitch has no concern for safety for the creators. It's actually like a really good segue because I wanted to talk about this. I would love to be at TwitchCon right now, and I'm like super excited for it, but I'm like really concerned with the things that are happening. So we got a situation with Emiru, who did a meet and greet and got assaulted, which is insane that is just happening, that's just going on. This is the clip. You just have like this guy walking up there, and there's the security dude shoving him. Like, actually insane, awful, disgusting. Hey everyone, Editing Yara here. I just wanted to let you know that Emiru did release a statement yesterday, and I just wanted to go over it because it's even worse than I initially imagined. So the security guard who pushed the guy away was her personal security guard. Obviously not her favorite because her favorite one was banned 2 years ago. There were 3 or 4 other security guards from TwitchCon around her, but none of them reacted, and they even laughed after the fact that they didn't even notice. The guy had to cross multiple barriers in order to get to Emiru even, and nobody stopped him. Twitch just shrugged it off, let him walk away, and only caught him like hours after the incident, after Emiru's manager pressed the head of security. But the fact that the fan not react, probably didn't like see it or notice it, or thought that like, I don't know, maybe they knew each other, not seeing what is happening. Like he's clearly looking into a different direction and didn't like see it. People are pointing out that there seems to be like a holster of a knife here. I don't know if that is true, if that just like looks like it. Like here, this thing, it's really difficult to see. The fact that this happened is incredibly disturbing, and it's the reason why so many female streamers didn't want to go to TwitchCon. They feared for their safety. You know, like Pokimane, for example, didn't want to go for these reasons. It's not unusual that weird things happen like at this TwitchCon, but it's not normal that it's happening so openly compared to normally. When I was at TwitchCon EU, right? Afterwards, I found out that there were, you know, people being like harassed because there are just like guys following women around everywhere, and you know, being like really hands-on, but nothing like this open at a meet and greet. And it's so fucked up because Emiru didn't want to do the meet and greet, but she was contractually obligated to do it.
So I had to cancel my meet and greet because of the stuff, but in order to, I can't cancel my meet and greet and not cancel her show because of the fact that the reason I cancel my meet and greet is I don't want to be in the same place for 2 hours. Because of people being weird.
Okay.
And then I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one and not cancel the other.
Interesting. Oh.
I'm sorry,
I kept my meet and greet because I wanted to keep my show. Surely it'll be fine.
I'm sorry, Emmy.
I'm sure everyone will be nice.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Last year, Emiru had like incidents with like stalking and whatnot. So you know, she had like a security guard who is banned from the venue, who wasn't allowed to be there. And apparently, like at the meet and greet, she also didn't. She wasn't able to keep her, you know, personal security guards around. It was just like Twitch stuff. And it's crazy that like Twitch a while ago were like, oh yeah, we have like local police forces everywhere. We have armed guards. We like stacked up security. We're making sure that everything is going smoothly. And then this happens at a meet and greet, and it's wild.
Maybe I should talk about this. Whatever. Who cares? I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon, and he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him and the guy wouldn't stop, so he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like perma-banned from the venue forever. But he didn't even hit him or anything. He just like held him while they waited for like the police to come. And
what the fuck?
And it was like my favorite security guard. I can't have him at TwitchCon anymore. I was just
That's
like,
fucked.
okay, like it was so sad because he did like everything.
He did everything right. Yeah. Getting banned, getting permabanned from the venue because you did your job as a security guard and you made the person who hired you feel safe. Absolutely insane that this like keeps happening at TwitchCon. That this is like every year. Obviously, a lot of streamers, pretty much all streamers, have some parasocial fans and whatnot. If you're like a really big content creator, you're going to have like some parasocial fans, and you're going to have like people who are taking things way too far. And it seems like Twitch doesn't care about these things. Twitch apparently doesn't care about the safety of their creators. And the fact that Emiru didn't want to do the meet and greet, but kept it to keep her show, just like a contractual obligation to do a meet and greet. So many streamers are voicing concerns. Security is not there. What does Twitch do? Just like let everyone down. And I do not believe that Twitch is going to run conventions if this keeps happening, because more and more content creators are going to drop out. There's a Twitch statement for this. The safety and security of all those attending TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high-profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply upsetting. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident. Yeah, not quick enough. And that's also like the problem. They're also like only interacting when something happens, not preemptively. They're not going to like actually step in, which is why, you know, personal security. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch. You know what's also scary? It's like, okay, so you have like freaks, parasocial freaks like that who do insane like that. There are so many incidents of streamers getting stalked. I think, you know, there was a VTuber a while ago at a TwitchCon where someone was putting like an air tag in a gift and then stalking them afterwards. Absolutely terrifying. So you have like people like that, and then, you know, they might like follow you to a hotel. They might do something outside. Like he could just like walk in there, violently grab her, and like the security on site reacted way too late. I'm actually surprised that after Blurb last year, they didn't take more precautions this year. Yeah, where people were being drugged. Like the after show party from Blurb where, you know, a bunch of VTubers were being like drugged. Crazy. Wait, what? I mean, that was like last year's TwitchCon. Hades from Mythos got her drink spiked at TwitchCon bar. I think that was like the event. I think I was drugged at the bar. That was like last year. And that's like an invite-only event. You gotta be a partner or there +1. Wild shit happening at Twitch. And it's also so dangerous because like you have so many high-profile streamers who are catering to a young male audience, pushing for more misogyny, who are exploiting these things. Not going to name names, but, you know, like sitting there and constantly hating on women and spreading more propaganda saying that like, oh, women shouldn't vote and whatnot. The same thing when it comes to like, you know, the Gamergate stuff, fueling like this toxicity and whatnot. Of course, a lot of women feel unsafe. There are so many male streamers who are like pushing the misogynistic concept of women just being like property. Anytime a game comes out and, you know, the female character doesn't have enough boobs, then it's like, oh, they're making the games ugly. Then they're pushing like dating tips. The manosphere pushing dating tips that are making them more lonely because, you know, it's just a cycle of like giving people false information so they're going to come back for more because you don't want people to succeed. And this keeps happening. This is the culture that we are moving towards. Patriarchy makes things worse. Like I don't want to start. But yeah, this is horrendous. When it comes to like the streamer world, a lot of female streamers have a lot of like parasocial fans because, you know, a lot of them are, you know, lonely men who think that they're like in a relationship. It's like the parasocial thing that like VTubers have to deal with a lot. Where it's like from idol culture, you're not allowed to say that you have a boyfriend, otherwise men are not going to give you money. That's kind of like the culture that is being created, that is like fueling this. Obviously, not blaming the women who want to keep their relationships private, just, you know, also for safety reasons and whatnot. This is like the culture. There are like a lot of problems because of that. You know, like if you're a VTuber and you post a selfie of your face, you're already breaking the immersion and risking losing your fans because they're imagining you to just like be exactly, you know, appearance-wise, exactly like the model that you have. Insane. When it comes to like the online creator space, there was this one incident where a female streamer got murdered by someone who, over a long period of time, donated over like $70,000 and coerced them into you know, meeting them in real life, and then literally just murdered her. And then you have like people like Asmongold sitting there being like, oh yeah, women should know. You shouldn't take donations, big donations. If you get big donations from someone, you should just like block them. You know, it's like obviously talking from a point of like privilege, but also, right, like it can happen over a long period of time. It's not like you're you know, getting like a $70,000 donation and then you meet them in person and then you get murdered. Incidents of like, you know, a female streamer having her car set on fire because of a stalker. Most of the time people are blaming or are just like saying that like those who are concerned, and that they are saying that like, oh, this is why, you know, there's like a societal issue with like men. This is why women don't trust men. There are a lot of guys who are going to be offended by it. I saw a TikTok the other day and I thought it was perfect. It was a perfect analogy of what it feels like when you get like blamed and people get like really mad when you point out the men, all men as a societal demographic.
A visual representation of men asking why you hate men. Hey, why are you on fire? Because you gave me a lit match and poured gasoline on me. That wasn't actually me. I was just there watching it happen, so you shouldn't blame me. Oh, I was busy being lit on fire, so I didn't see who it was exactly. Well, I could also be on fire, so maybe that's just equality. Or maybe neither one of us could be on fire. Maybe we should try that. Well, if you just sit and complain about being on fire, you'll never not be on fire. Well, what I'm hoping is that enough people will say that they don't want to be on fire, that people will stop lighting us on fire. Well, because you hurt my feelings when you insinuated that I was the one who lit you on fire, I am going to keep making excuses for the people who lit you on fire. You know, if you helped, we could find the people who lit me on fire and stop them from lighting anyone else on fire. No, thank you. The people that I like lit you on fire. Enjoy burning.
It's kind of on point. They still frame these situations as fringe instead of recurring trend. Yeah, exactly. It's not a cultural issue. It's not a demographic issue. It is not all men. It is just some men blaming the woman for it. Obviously, that happens a lot as well. A lot of men being like really fragile and insecure when like a woman says, yeah, I'm concerned about my safety. I don't want to go to TwitchCon. There were a lot of incels who were dunking on that. It's just so sad. But yeah, I feel really awful for any streamer who had to deal with like sexual harassment. Like, to be fair, I think that like last year there was like a male streamer who was being sexually harassed, so that happens too. Like, I'm not saying that it's just men going after women. There are also men going after other men. To be fair, there are also parasocial women who go after men, but it's like the balance, right? I think that like society obviously thinks that like men who come forward after like being sexually assaulted, they are like weaker men because they've been put in the position of like a woman. And they lost their manhood. They're broken now. So this is also like some patriarchal thing where men are being shamed if they've been, you know, sexually assaulted, especially by other men. If they're sexually assaulted by women, then it's like, oh, you should be lucky. You should be lucky. Aren't you glad? The reason that report rates are so low. So they just pretend it doesn't happen, even if the assault is men on men. I know that also like a lot of women do not report assaults because you know, society views them as whores, as broken. They're just making fake allegations anyway and whatnot. So there's like a lot of shaming happening. TwitchCon is done. Yeah. I don't see a future for TwitchCon at this point. It's going to be really difficult. I was really looking forward to next year. I do not believe that TwitchCon US is going to be successful with so many streamers fearing for their safety and not wanting to do meet and greets anymore.